Aging is an inevitable process, but how we age and how long we live depend on multiple factors, many of which are within our control. While genetics play a role, scientific research suggests that lifestyle choices, physical health, mental well-being, and even social connections significantly impact our longevity. For those over 70, every year becomes more valuable, and small signs in the body can reveal crucial insights about overall health and life expectancy. Researchers have identified 7 key indicators that predict how long you might live after 70. These are not myths or vague assumptions, but evidence-based markers observed in long-lived individuals. Why these signs matter. Each of these 7 signs reflects an essential aspect of physical and mental resilience. A strong grip, a steady walking pace, good sleep, and balanced nutrition are more than just daily habits. They are predictors of how well your body can withstand the effects of aging. The good news is that recognizing these signs early allows you to take action and improve your health. This article will break down these 7 longevity signs, explain the science behind them, and provide practical advice from experts on how to strengthen each one. Let's begin with the first and one of the most surprising predictors of longevity: your walking speed. Walking speed, a powerful indicator of longevity. The science behind walking speed and longevity. Walking speed may seem like a simple measure, but researchers have found that it strongly correlates with lifespan. A landmark study published in JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association, analyzed over 34,000 older adults and found that faster walkers had a significantly lower risk of death compared to slower walkers. But why does walking speed matter so much? It turns out that your ability to walk briskly reflects multiple aspects of health. Cardiovascular health, a strong heart and efficient circulation allow for steady movement without fatigue. Muscle strength and endurance. The ability to sustain a steady pace suggests well-maintained muscle mass, which is crucial for overall health. Neurological function. A fast and stable gait requires coordination between the brain, nerves, and muscles, indicating a healthy nervous system. Balance and mobility. Slower walking speed can indicate poor balance, joint stiffness, or even early signs of neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's. The walking speed longevity test. Imagine 2 individuals, Joe and Frank, both 75 years old. Joe walks at a brisk pace daily, averaging about 3 miles per hour. He finds it easy to cross streets, climb stairs, and maintain an active lifestyle. Frank, on the other hand, has slowed down significantly. His walking speed has dropped to around 1.5 miles per hour. He struggles with fatigue, occasionally stumbles, and avoids long walks. Research suggests that Joe has a much higher chance of living into his 80s and beyond, while Frank's reduced walking speed could be an early warning sign of declining health. How to improve your walking speed and longevity. The good news: walking speed can be improved at any age with the right approach. Here are some expert-backed strategies. 1. Strengthen your leg muscles. Exercise recommendation: perform leg strengthening exercises such as squats, lunges, and calf raises. Scientific insight: studies show that resistance training in older adults increases both leg strength and walking speed. 2. Improve cardiovascular health exercise. Recommendation: engage in moderate aerobic activity like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming for at least 150 minutes per week. Expert tip: Dr. Michael Joyner, a Mayo Clinic physiologist, states that improving cardiovascular endurance directly enhances mobility and longevity. 3. Practice walking drills. Tip: try interval walking. Alternate between fast-paced and slow-paced walking for better endurance. Scientific backing: research in the Journal of Gerontology found that walking intervals significantly improve gait speed and overall fitness. 4. Monitor and maintain a healthy diet. Nutritional advice: consume lean protein, chicken, fish, beans, to maintain muscle strength, and omega-3 fatty acids, salmon, walnuts, to support joint health. Why it matters. A study from Harvard University highlights that protein intake is critical for preserving muscle mass and function in older adults. 5. Use walking speed as a health check self-test. Try walking 10 feet at your normal pace and time yourself. If it takes longer than 5 to 6 seconds, it might indicate declining mobility. Medical advice. If you notice a significant drop in your speed over time, consult a doctor for an assessment. Final thoughts on walking speed and longevity. Walking speed is more than just a measure of fitness. It's a powerful predictor of overall health and survival after 70. By staying active, building strength, and monitoring your gait, you can improve not just how long you live, but how well you live. Grip strength, a surprising predictor of health and longevity. The science behind grip strength and lifespan. You might not think much about how strong your grip is, but researchers have discovered that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and overall health. A study published in The Lancet found that grip strength is more accurate than blood pressure in predicting cardiovascular disease and mortality. Why does grip strength matter so much? It's because it serves as a biomarker for overall muscle health, nervous system function, and resilience to aging. Muscle mass and strength. A strong grip often indicates better preserved muscle mass, which is crucial for mobility and independence. Heart health. Weak grip strength is linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, and even metabolic disorders like diabetes. Nervous system efficiency. Your grip relies on signals from the brain to the muscles. A decline in grip strength may signal early neurological issues. Case study. The tale of two 78-year-olds meet Robert and Walter, both 78 years old. Robert has always been active, engaging in light weightlifting and manual tasks like gardening. He has a firm grip, no trouble carrying groceries, and feels steady on his feet. Walter, on the other hand, has noticed his hands weakening. He struggles to open jars, finds it harder to carry heavy bags, and sometimes loses his grip on objects. Scientific data suggests that Robert is likely to live longer and maintain better health than Walter, simply because his grip strength indicates better overall resilience. How to test your grip strength. A simple way to assess your grip strength is the handshake test. Strong handshake, generally a good sign of muscular health. Weak or declining handshake could indicate loss of muscle mass, sarcopenia, poor circulation, or neurological decline. For a more precise measurement, doctors use a dynamometer to measure grip strength. For men over 70, a grip strength of below 26 kilograms, and for women below 16 kilograms, indicates higher health risks. How to improve your grip strength and longevity. 1. Hand and forearm exercises. Tennis ball squeeze. Squeeze a softball for 10 to 15 repetitions per hand. Hand grippers. These tools help improve grip strength when used for 2 to 3 sets daily. Wrist curls. Holding light weights, curl your wrists up and down to strengthen forearm muscles. 2. Full body strength training. Why it matters. Strengthening the entire body, especially the arms, shoulders, and core, helps improve grip as well. Exercise recommendations. Deadlifts, even with light weights, pull-ups or modified resistance bands, farmer's walk, carrying weights for distance. 3. Improved diet for muscle strength. Protein. Intake, aim for 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight daily to preserve muscle mass. Magnesium and potassium. These minerals support nerve function and muscle contraction, found in bananas, spinach, almonds. Omega-3s and healthy fats. Promote muscle recovery and reduce inflammation, found in salmon, flax seeds, olive oil. 4. Neurological and reflex training, hand-eye coordination exercises. Playing catch using stress balls or practicing quick hand movements enhances nervous system efficiency. Mind-muscle connection. Focusing on grip during activities like lifting or even holding utensils firmly while eating helps maintain muscle-brain communication. Final thoughts on grip strength and longevity. A strong grip isn't just about shaking hands confidently. It's an indicator of your overall vitality, resilience, and future health. By maintaining grip strength, you lower your risk of frailty, falls, cardiovascular disease, and even cognitive decline. Balance and the ability to stand on one leg, a hidden key to longevity. Why balance matters for lifespan. When we think about aging, we often focus on muscle strength, heart health, and diet. But one of the most overlooked indicators of longevity is balance, specifically the ability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds. Research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that people over 70 who could not balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds had nearly double the risk of death within the next 10 years compared to those who could. What makes balance so important? Balance is a reflection of three essential bodily functions. Neurological health. Maintaining balance requires a well-functioning brain and nervous system as they control coordination and motor skills. Muscle and joint strength. The legs, core, and stabilizing muscles work together to keep the body upright. Weakness in any of these areas leads to instability. Reaction. Time and fall prevention. Poor balance increases the risk of falls, which are a leading cause of serious injuries and mortality in older adults. Hip fractures alone have a 20 to 30% mortality rate within the first year. Case study, Carol versus Nancy, two different aging paths. Let's look at two women, Carol and Nancy, both in their early 70s. Carol has been active her whole life. She practices yoga, takes daily walks, and occasionally does balance drills. When she tries the 10-second balance test, she easily stands on one leg without wobbling. Nancy, on the other hand, has never focused on balance exercises. When she attempts to stand on one leg, she starts to tip over within seconds, needing to grab onto a chair for support. Studies show that Carol's ability to maintain balance suggests she's at lower risk for falls, fractures, and even cognitive decline. Meanwhile, Nancy's difficulty balancing could indicate weakened coordination, muscle atrophy, or early neurological decline. How to test your balance at home. You can do the 10-second one-leg stand. Test yourself. Stand near a chair or wall for safety. Lift one foot off the ground. Try to balance for at least 10 seconds without holding on to anything. Repeat on the other leg. Results. If you can hold the position for 10 seconds or more, your balance is strong. If you struggle to stay balanced, this could indicate muscle weakness, poor coordination, or early neurological issues. How to improve balance and extend longevity. The good news? Balance can be trained and improved at any age. Here's how. 1. Daily balance drills. Single leg stand. Hold for 10 to 30 seconds per leg every day. Heel to toe walk. Walk in a straight line, placing one foot directly in front of the other, like walking on a tightrope. Shifting weight. Shift weight from one foot to the other while standing, keeping control over movements. 2. Strengthen core and leg muscles. A strong core and leg muscles are essential for stability. Leg raises strengthens the quadriceps and hip stabilizers. Squats or chair stands builds lower body strength, improving stability. Planks engages core muscles, crucial for balance control. 3. Practice mind-body exercises. Activities like Tai Chi, yoga, and Pilates have been scientifically proven to improve balance, coordination, and muscle function. Tai Chi. Studies show it reduces fall risk by 50%. Yoga enhances proprioception, body awareness, flexibility, and core stability. 4. Improve foot and ankle health. Since balance starts from the ground up, it's important to keep the feet and ankles strong. Walk barefoot or use toe strengthening exercises. Use a wobble board or stability ball to enhance ankle control. The link between balance and brain health. One of the most fascinating discoveries in aging research is the connection between balance and cognitive function. Studies have found that poor balance is associated with a higher risk of dementia. People with better balance tend to have better memory and quicker reaction times. This happens because balance exercises stimulate the brain's motor and coordination centers, helping maintain cognitive function as we age. Final thoughts on balance and longevity. If you struggle with balance today, it's not too late to improve. By practicing simple exercises daily, strengthening your muscles and staying active, you can lower your risk of falls and injuries, improve coordination and reaction time, enhance overall longevity and independence. Remember, longevity isn't just about living longer. It's about maintaining mobility, independence, and a high quality of life. Start improving your balance today. Sleep patterns, the hidden key to longevity. The science behind sleep and lifespan. Many people underestimate the role of sleep in determining how long they will live. But research shows that how well you sleep after 70 can significantly impact your longevity. A study published in PLOS Medicine found that older adults who consistently get high-quality sleep live longer, with lower risks of heart disease, dementia, and premature death. On the other hand, poor sleep can accelerate aging, weaken the immune system, and increase the risk of chronic diseases. What happens when we sleep? Sleep isn't just about rest. It's the body's natural repair and maintenance system. During sleep, the brain clears toxins and waste products that accumulate throughout the day. Muscles and tissues undergo cell regeneration and repair. The immune system strengthens to fight diseases and infections. The heart and blood vessels get a break, helping prevent cardiovascular disease. If sleep is disrupted, these essential processes are compromised, leading to faster aging, increased stress, and a shorter lifespan. Signs that your sleep quality is declining. After 70, sleep patterns naturally change. However, persistent sleep problems could be an early warning sign of serious health issues. Here are key indicators of declining sleep quality. Difficulty falling asleep, taking more than 30 minutes to doze off, waking up frequently during the night, feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep, snoring or gasping for air, possible sign of sleep apnea, needing daytime naps but still feeling sluggish. Case study, Henry versus Bill. The impact of sleep on aging. Let's compare two men, Henry and Bill, both in their mid-70s. Henry maintains a consistent sleep routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time daily. He gets 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep and wakes up feeling refreshed. Bill struggles with restless nights, tossing and turning. He often wakes up multiple times, feels tired during the day, and takes frequent naps, but never feels fully rested. Over time, Henry remains mentally sharp, energetic, and active. In contrast, Bill experiences memory lapses, higher blood pressure, and an increased risk of heart disease, all linked to poor sleep quality. How poor sleep shortens. Lifespan, chronic sleep deprivation accelerates aging in the following ways. Weakened immune system, making you more vulnerable to infections. Increased inflammation, a leading cause of chronic diseases. Memory decline and cognitive impairment, increasing the risk of dementia. Higher stress and anxiety, leading to cardiovascular problems. The link between sleep and dementia. One of the most alarming findings in sleep research is its direct connection to Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. Studies show that poor sleep increases the buildup of beta-amyloid plaques in the brain, a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. Sleep disturbances increase the risk of dementia by 30 to 50%. Simply put, if you don't sleep well, your brain ages faster. How to improve sleep and extend lifespan. The good news? You can improve sleep at any age. Here's how. 1. Create a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Avoid long naps. Keep them under 30 minutes. 2. Optimize your sleep environment. Keep the bedroom cool, 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. Use blackout curtains to block light, remove noise distractions, or use white noise machines. 3. Limit evening stimulants. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m., coffee, tea, soda. Reduce screen time, phones, TVs, tablets, at least 1 hour before bed to prevent blue light from disrupting melatonin production. 4. Follow a bedtime routine. Read a book, take a warm bath, or practice light stretching before bed. Try deep breathing or meditation to relax. 5. Monitor for sleep disorders. If you experience chronic snoring, gasping for air, or frequent wake-ups, consider getting tested for sleep apnea, which significantly increases mortality risk. Final thoughts on sleep and longevity. Good sleep isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity for a long and healthy life. Prioritizing quality sleep can protect your brain and heart, reduce stress and inflammation, improve overall lifespan and well-being? Tonight, ask yourself, are you getting enough quality sleep? If not, start making small changes today. Appetite and eating habits. The nutritional blueprint for longevity. Why appetite and diet matter after 70. The way you eat in your 70s and beyond is one of the strongest indicators of how long and how well you will live. A healthy appetite and a balanced diet are essential for maintaining muscle strength and preventing frailty, supporting immune function to fight infections, keeping energy levels stable for an active life, preventing chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. However, many older adults experience a reduced appetite or rely on nutritionally poor foods, leading to malnutrition, muscle loss, and increased risk of illness. How aging affects appetite and nutrient absorption. As we age, several biological changes impact how we eat and process nutrients. Slower metabolism. The body burns fewer calories, reducing hunger. Hormonal changes. Lower levels of ghrelin, hunger hormone, can make eating feel less appealing. Reduced taste and smell. Food may seem bland, leading to less interest in eating. Dental problems. Missing teeth or poor-fitting dentures can make chewing difficult. Digestive changes. Reduced production of stomach acid makes it harder to absorb key nutrients like B12, iron, and calcium. These factors can lead to inadequate nutrition, making the body weaker and more vulnerable to illness. Warning signs of poor nutrition in older adults. If you or a loved one notice these signs, it may indicate nutritional decline, unintentional weight loss, losing more than 5% of body weight in a few months, loss of appetite or feeling full too quickly, fatigue and weakness, thinning hair, brittle nails or dry skin, frequent illnesses or slow recovery from sickness, difficulty concentrating or memory issues. Case study, Margaret versus Susan, the power of good nutrition. Let's compare two women, Margaret and Susan, both 74 years old. Margaret enjoys her meals, eats a variety of whole foods, and stays physically active. She makes an effort to prepare balanced meals rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats. She maintains a healthy weight, has strong muscles, and stays energetic throughout the day. Susan, on the other hand, has lost interest in food. She skips meals, relies on processed snacks, and has unintentionally lost weight. She feels weak, gets sick more often, and struggles with energy levels. Over time, Margaret remains independent, mobile, and mentally sharp, while Susan becomes frail, more prone to falls, and experiences cognitive decline. How poor nutrition shortens lifespan. A lack of proper nutrition accelerates aging in several ways. Muscle loss and frailty, making you prone to falls and injuries. Weakened immune system, increasing the risk of infections. Cognitive decline, poor nutrition is linked to Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Heart problems. A poor diet raises the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes. The link between nutrition and dementia studies have found that nutrient deficiencies, especially in B vitamins, omega-3s, and antioxidants, increase the risk of cognitive decline. A study in neurology found that older adults with low levels of vitamin B12 were more likely to develop dementia. Another study found that a Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, fish, and healthy fats, reduces Alzheimer's risk by 40%. How to improve nutrition and extend lifespan. If you notice a decline in appetite or poor eating habits, making small, consistent changes can significantly improve health and longevity. 1. Prioritize protein for muscle strength. After 70, muscle loss accelerates, increasing the risk of falls and frailty. Eat lean proteins like fish, chicken, eggs, beans, and Greek yogurt. Aim for at least 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. 2. Eat nutrient-dense foods. Focus on whole, natural foods, vegetables and fruits, high in antioxidants and fiber. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, rich in omega-3s for brain health. Healthy fats, avocados, nuts, olive oil. Support heart and brain function. Whole grains, brown rice, oats, quinoa provide sustained energy. 3. Stay hydrated. Dehydration is common in older adults due to reduced thirst signals. Drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Limit caffeine and alcohol, which can cause dehydration. Eat hydrating foods like watermelon, cucumbers, and soups. 4. Make eating enjoyable again. If food has lost its appeal, try adding herbs and spices to enhance flavor. Eating with family or friends for social motivation. Trying new recipes or meal delivery services. 5. Address underlying health issues. If appetite loss persists, check for dental problems. Ensure dentures fit properly. Medication side effects. Some drugs reduce appetite. Depression or loneliness can lead to a lack of interest in food. Final thoughts on nutrition and longevity. Eating well after 70 isn't just about staying full. It's about fueling your body for strength, energy, and longevity. Stress management, the silent killer that affects longevity. Why stress matters after 70. Stress is often seen as just an emotional issue, but in reality, chronic stress is one of the most powerful factors that accelerate aging and shorten lifespan. As we age, our ability to cope with stress weakens, making its effects even more damaging. Long-term stress triggers inflammation, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cognitive decline, and even early mortality. Managing stress effectively after 70 isn't just about mental well-being. It's a key biological factor in how long and how well you live. The science of stress and aging. When you experience stress, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, the fight or flight hormones. In short bursts, these hormones are useful, but when stress is chronic, high cortisol levels lead to increased inflammation, a major cause of arthritis, heart disease, and cancer. Weakened immune system, making you more vulnerable to infections and slower healing. Accelerated brain aging, raising the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. Higher blood pressure and heart problems. Stress is a leading contributor to hypertension and strokes. Increased blood sugar levels, raising the risk of type 2 diabetes. Sleep disruption. Poor sleep increases the risk of depression and memory loss. Studies show that people who manage stress well live significantly longer than those who don't. Case study, John versus Richard. The impact of stress on longevity. Let's compare two men, John and Richard, both 76 years old. John faces life's challenges with a calm and positive outlook. He practices deep breathing, meditation, and stays socially active. When faced with problems, he takes action, but doesn't dwell on negative thoughts. Richard, however, holds on to stress. He worries constantly about finances, health issues, and the future. He rarely relaxes, has trouble sleeping, and often feels overwhelmed. Over time, John remains active, sleeps well, and stays mentally sharp. Meanwhile, Richard's high stress levels contribute to high blood pressure, poor sleep, and early signs of cognitive decline. How chronic stress shortens lifespan. If left unchecked, chronic stress leads to increased risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. Stress speeds up brain cell damage. Higher risk of heart disease and strokes. Stress raises blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Weakened immune system, making you more prone to infections and illnesses. Digestive problems. Stress leads to acid reflux, ulcers, and poor nutrient absorption. How to manage stress for a longer life. Reducing stress isn't just about feeling better, it's about living longer and healthier. Here are some science-backed strategies to manage stress effectively. 1. Practice deep breathing and meditation. Deep breathing reduces stress hormones and calms the nervous system. Meditation improves brain function and lowers blood pressure. Studies show that daily meditation reduces stress-related inflammation by 30%. Try this. Box breathing technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, repeat. Mindfulness meditation. Focus on breathing and let go of negative thoughts. 2. Stay socially connected. People with strong social connections have lower stress levels and live longer. Talking to friends, family, or joining a community group helps release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which counteracts stress. 3. Exercise regularly. Exercise lowers cortisol and boosts endorphins, the feel-good hormones. Studies show that 30 minutes of walking daily reduces stress-related heart disease risk by 40%. 4. Laugh more and stay positive. Laughter reduces cortisol levels and improves heart health. Watching a funny movie or spending time with humorous people boosts longevity. Studies show that optimistic people live 11 to 15% longer than pessimists. 5. Get quality sleep. Poor sleep increases cortisol and inflammation. Set a regular bedtime, avoid screens before sleep, and create a calming nighttime routine. 6. Limit negative news and overthinking. Avoid too much negative news, which increases anxiety and stress. Practice thought stopping. If you catch yourself overthinking, redirect your focus to something positive. 7. Engage in relaxing activities. Creative hobbies like painting, gardening, and music lower stress levels. Reading a book or spending time in nature reduces anxiety and improves mood. Final thoughts on stress and longevity. Ask yourself, do you handle stress in a healthy way, or do you hold on to worries? Are you practicing relaxation techniques or letting stress control your life? Managing stress isn't just about peace of mind, it's about adding years to your life. Social connections, the hidden key to a longer life. Why relationships matter more than you think. When we think about longevity, we often focus on diet, exercise, and medical care. But one of the most overlooked factors that determines how long you live after 70 is the strength of your social connections. Studies have consistently shown that having strong relationships, whether with friends, family, or a community, can extend your life by several years. In contrast, loneliness and social isolation have been linked to higher risks of heart disease, dementia, depression, and even early death. According to research from Harvard University's famous study of adult development, the people who lived the longest and happiest lives were those who had deep, meaningful relationships. In fact, their level of social connection was a better predictor of longevity than cholesterol levels. The science behind social connection and longevity. Why does staying socially connected help you live longer? Here's what the science says. 1. Social connections reduce stress and inflammation. Being around people you trust lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and reduces inflammation, which is a major factor in heart disease, cancer, and aging. A study from the University of North Carolina found that strong social networks lower inflammation levels as effectively as exercise or a healthy diet. 2. Relationships keep your brain sharp. Engaging in conversations, laughing, and solving problems with others keeps your brain active, reducing the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Research from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors with strong social ties had a 70% lower risk of cognitive decline compared to those who were socially isolated. 3. Social bonds strengthen the immune system. People with active social lives recover faster from illness, have stronger immune responses, and live longer than those who are lonely. A study from Carnegie Mellon University found that socially connected individuals were less likely to catch colds and had stronger immune defenses. 4. Loneliness increases the risk of early death. Loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day and has a greater impact on longevity than obesity or lack of exercise. A meta-analysis of 148 studies found that people with strong social relationships were 50% more likely to live longer than those with weak social ties. Case study, Eleanor versus Barbara. The power of connection. Let's compare two women, both 78 years old. Eleanor has an active social life. She stays in touch with old friends, attends community events, and has daily conversations with her family. She laughs often, feels connected, and looks forward to her interactions. Barbara, on the other hand, has lost touch with many of her friends over the years. She rarely calls family members, avoids social gatherings, and spends most of her time alone. Over time, she starts feeling isolated, depressed, and her health begins to decline. The result? Eleanor remains mentally sharp, physically active, and emotionally fulfilled. Barbara experiences higher stress, increased health problems, and faster cognitive decline. How to strengthen your social connections for a longer life. Building and maintaining relationships isn't just about avoiding loneliness. It's about actively creating a life filled with connection and purpose. Here are 7 powerful ways to strengthen your social ties after 70. 1. Prioritize face-to-face interactions. Make an effort to meet people in person instead of relying only on phone calls or text messages. Face-to-face interactions trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which boosts happiness and reduces stress. 2. Join a community or club. Find a local group that shares your interests, whether it's a book club, gardening club, or religious group. A study from the University of Michigan found that seniors who participate in group activities live longer and have lower rates of depression. 3. Strengthen family bonds. Make an effort to call or visit family members regularly. Even if you've been distant, it's never too late to rebuild relationships. 4. Volunteer or help others. Giving back to others reduces stress, boosts happiness, and increases lifespan. Volunteering has been shown to reduce the risk of mortality by 22% in older adults. 5. Stay in touch with old friends. Don't wait for others to reach out. Call an old friend today and reconnect. Research shows that even brief social interactions can improve mood and brain health. 6. Consider adopting a pet. Pets provide companionship, lower blood pressure, and increased daily activity. Studies show that pet owners have lower stress levels and a reduced risk of heart disease. 7. Make it a habit to engage in small talk. Engaging in small talk with neighbors, cashiers, or people at the park helps maintain social skills and makes you feel more connected to the world. Even simple daily conversations help keep the brain active and improve mood.